Hey, this is Bill with CR England. I've got something exciting to talk with you about today. I'm really fired up about it, and it's because at the November safety video, Dean England, who's our co-chairman of the board, Dean put together a little introduction on Career Track and introduced the Career Track tutorial video. Now, this is such a key, and if you've seen my other videos, I've talked about Career Track as a way to make sure that you get on the right freight, that you have the right dedicated lane or the right lane for you, what you're trying to accomplish in your career. Unfortunately, too many people that I talk to haven't really dialed into Career Track and don't really understand it. I'll give you an example. I was in Laredo, this was about 8 weeks ago, and I met Jason and Rick. They were from just outside of Jackson, Mississippi. They met each other at school. They didn't know each other before they went to school, but when they came to the England training, they met each other. They decided that, they clicked, and it would be a good idea for them to be teammates as their career moved forward. They went their separate ways on phase 1 training, but then got back together in phase 2, and they'd been in phase 2 training together for about 3 months. And they really didn't have complaints about the company, except they just were not making enough money. I said to him, wow, are you signed up on Career Track? Have you downloaded the app onto your phone? Are you using it? And Jason says to me, no, Bill, I'm not, no one really even know what that was. So I got them both together. We downloaded the CRE toolbox onto their smartphones, and we got them dialed in on Career Track. And we went through the dedicated lanes that they're eligible for. Now, Career Track, when you get signed up on Career Track, and it's right in the CRE app, this is not a big thing. Once you load the CRE app onto your phone, you put your driver code in and your password, it automatically pulls all your personal information from the company database. And so it's not any big long sign-in process. You should do it right now if you don't have the CRE toolbox on your smartphone. So we got it loaded onto both of their phones, and we went to the Career Track tab to look at what positions they qualify for. And we immediately saw that they were qualified for several things. And so I had them sign up or add themselves to the waiting list for each of those positions. Now, immediately Ricky was like, man, I'm 39th on this list. I said to him, don't worry about it. Remember, you can sign up for 5 different positions on Career Track. So someone might be signed up on a position that's number 1 for you, but it might be number 4 for them. And so they're ahead of you, but they're really not competition, if you know what I mean. So if you're 39, you're really probably maybe 12 in terms of people that really want that lane and are ready to take it. Just to give you an example, right now I'm number 5 on Salt Lake Intermodal. But the 4 ahead of me are dead wood. They've taken other positions and they really don't want that slot. So I'm number 1 on Salt Lake Intermodal. And so don't be discouraged if you're a high number on the list. One of the things we found when we got them signed up was that they were eligible for the Walmart National Fleet. Now, in their 3rd month of phase 2, they were making like 32 cents a mile to the truck, which wasn't enough. That's one of my pet peeves is we don't help drivers get ahead fast enough. And this is, I think, why it's great to have the emphasis on Career Track. So we saw they were eligible for Walmart National Fleet. We immediately called a divisional recruiter in Salt Lake. Just call recruiting. Ask them for a divisional recruiter who's going to help place people in dedicated lanes. We got Roma Miller. She's fantastic. I've met Roma before, and she's helped a lot of people. Roma immediately transferred them to the Walmart National Fleet. Now, it takes about a week to 10 days to actually affect that because your current DM has to get a replacement. It takes a while to get, to identify which truck are they going to use. Are they going to keep their truck? Are they going to get a different truck and all that? But they went from 32 cents a mile to the truck to 42 cents a mile in about 20 minutes. Now, tell me if that is not where each of you who are struggling with your pay or need to make a little more money, if that isn't where you need to be. So it's important that you get dialed in with Career Track and you get lined up and you understand how to use it. Now, several times in the tutorial video, which is great, they talk about you need to be qualified for certain lanes, but they don't talk about what the qualification is. So let me help you with that quickly. Qualification number 1 is geography. You have to live within 100 miles of the customer or the CR England facility that services that customer. Sometimes it's 75 and sometimes 50, but generally the rule of thumb is you need to be within 100 miles because you're going to be getting home more. And so they want to make it convenient for you to get home when you're finished with your runs. The second thing is tenure. How long you've been in the industry or how long you've been with CR England. Some dedicated lanes require 6 months with CR England. Some require more. Some you can go straight from school. So you've got geography and you've got tenure. Now the next most important thing is your safety. So those of you that know what the DSP is, that's your driver safety profile. Many dedicated fleet managers have a maximum score on driver safety profile that is acceptable to you. I'll give you an example. Again in Laredo, I spend some time in Laredo each week waiting for our trailers to cross the border from Mexico, and I'm always talking to the drivers. Several weeks ago I met Bobby. She's from Columbia, South Carolina. She was on basically the national fleet solo, and she wasn't getting home enough. She didn't feel like, and she'd like to make more money, of course. And so I asked her about Career Track, and I get the same answer. Hey, I don't know about Career Track. So we got her signed up. We got her dialed into Career Track, and we put her. She found the I-95 Georgia Pacific fleet, the Pod Solo fleet. There were several, that she got signed up on. Well, I ran into her again last week. She was in Salt Lake. I was on a 34. She was there, and I asked her how things were going, and she said not much had happened. So what we did was we went over to the office and saw Roma and found out that her driver safety profile was a 12.5. And so we looked at that, and that was too high. Georgia Pacific would only allow a maximum driver safety profile of a 10. So Bobby called safety. She went, did some safety videos. She got set up for a driving review so that she could knock her driver safety profile down to 10 so that she'd be eligible for the Georgia Pacific I-95 fleet. So when it comes to qualifying, number 1 is geography, number 2 is tenure, number 3 is safety. All those things have to be in line if you want to get a dedicated lane. And those of you that have seen my other videos, you know that I'm consistently making excellent money. I make right now 27 cents a mile on all 6,000 miles that the truck runs. That's $1,620 a week. And that's when I'm not training. When I am training, I get a penny per mile bump plus all the training bonuses. So my base pay right now is $16.20 a week. When I'm training, I make about $19.50, $19.60 a week. And you just can't beat it. But the key is you have to be on the right freight, and you have to get into Career Track, and you have to make it work for you. So listen, make this a New Year's resolution to get your Career Track, your CRE toolbox loaded, and make sure that it's ready to go. And then use those divisional recruiters, call recruiting. Even though you're already an employee, the recruiters can help you move to the next step and improve your career prospects and your career outlook with CR England. And why don't we do that in 2017 and make it a safe, happy, and a healthy year, and a year where you make more money, get home more, and are running the freight that you want to run that helps you meet your goals and your objectives. Hey, I wish you all the best. Be safe out there. Until next time.